This is third time lucky. So let's see if this works. Okay. So we're now live for, I'm just looking at the result here. For Darren Till versus Darren Stewart. In co-main event, we've got Ty Mitchell versus Idris Virgo. Two fights that I'm really looking forward to. Especially Idris has been really rubbing everybody up the wrong way. Wakey Wines, does he get the decision there? He gets it. I mean, the quality of boxing wasn't really there, but it is what it is. It's entertaining. He's probably got a big following. I think both guys have, so you can see he's a bit emotional there. It obviously means a lot to him. Fair enough. I mean, anybody getting in a boxing ring, I give them huge credit, because it's even more impressive when you're not actually a boxer, because you don't really know how to fully defend yourself. So it's kind of like driving up the motorway the wrong way, to be honest. It's a car crash waiting to happen. The main reason I decided to do this stream on Misfits tonight was because my guy Joey Knights was boxing earlier. He got the win. I did do the stream, but like I say, I had internet problems, so I've ended up deleting that stream. But he got the win. I know he wanted to put on a big performance. He had a tricky guy in front of him, so I think it was a hard guy to look good against, because he was a durable former world champion kickboxer. So he was never just going to blow him over, but and he didn't really engage too much, so it didn't really give Joey the opportunity to counter and really land anything spectacular. But he'll be happy that he got the win. He's back to winning ways, because last time out he fought little Cray Cray, and Cray Cray is a good boxer. He was a good amateur boxer. I think might have won the Golden Gloves and things like that. So he was in there with no mug. The stream current bitrate is just saying the current bitrate's a bit low. Yes, this is live. People in the comments there. I'm just gonna. It's saying that the bitrate could be a little bit higher, so I'll see if I can adjust that while I'm on. Output. Stream. Video. DK fast. Output. Don't think I can change. Hopefully that still works. Yes, Joey won. I was over the moon for Joey. He got the win. He might not have got the win he really wanted. I know he would have liked a really spectacular performance, but you know, he got the win. That's the most important thing. Let me just check what this is. This stream bitrate is lower than the recommended. Let me just check. The stream not too sure how to change that. I'm really looking forward to this next fight. I'm just seeing if I can up this any. There it is. It's on the wrong. It should be 8,000. There we go. Hopefully that made a difference. Output 8,000. Fingers crossed that's sorted. We recommend. Good connection. It's in good. Okay. Let me just put this onto a bigger screen. I've had to change locations because I attempted to do this live stream earlier and the internet connection wasn't working, so I've had to change location in the house and actually so I can connect it properly. These are things that I need to learn from, because I'm planning on doing more live streams. So hopefully I can get this put right so everything flows nicely. What's it saying? I need to up. Okay. Just make this a bit big on here so I can see these. Okay, what's people saying? Jacob Morley, you're right, Lawrence. Mate, love watching the vids. Keep it up. Took a picture with you last time you fought. Excellent, mate. Jacob, where you from, Jacob? Are you which are you from? Jacob Morley. I'm terrible with names. With you last time you fought must have been the last fight I had with Matt Jobs at Jobs' gym. Okay, those more those more Thai guys are no joke. They're tough. I mean, they're used to knees, elbows. So I mean, don't get me wrong, it doesn't matter what you get hit with. If you get hit bang on the chin, it's game over. But the Thai guys, like I say, they're used to the elbows and knees and kicks. So really, when you think about it, punches next to nothing. Yeah, you're right, you're saying, especially with experience. That's a big win for Joey against a guy with little mainstream clout, yeah? It's fair enough, really. I think Joey sees himself higher than that, because he's a boxer. He dedicates his life to boxing, whereas this is a Thai boxing guy, and it's a different discipline. But I think Joey will be thinking to himself, I'm the boxer, he's the kickboxer. But yeah, Joey realistically should be happy with the performance, because he's in there with a guy, despite a slightly different discipline. It's still, ring experience, whether it's kickboxing, Thai boxing, UFC. There's nothing like actual ring experience, just dealing with the crowds, the pressure. And I think he'd said that Joey's opponent said that he'd had 100 plus fights, so that's a lot of experience. I've had 100 plus fights myself, amateur and professional, so going in that ring that many times, you gain a lot of experience. And I always say it on my channel, you've probably heard us say it, experience you can't buy. Yeah, you can't buy that experience. And a lot of people like to try to, they think they can bypass it. And you can look at it here that Joey's bypassed experience, but realistically, he's in there with a guy who's a little bit, he's well past his best. He's a lot older. Joey's a lot younger and fresher. And it's one of those, I don't really know what his opponent wanted out of this. It's a really difficult one, really. Is he in it just for the money? Because when you've had a career in kickboxing and you've been a world champion, to come down to this level in Misfits, no disrespect to Misfits, because I think it's a great platform, really entertaining, but I just feel like it's a massive step down. So for him, surely it's got to be about money. It's all it can be about, really. Let me get this on my phone so I can read the comments. It'll be a little bit easier for us. Bear with me while I just get this up. It'll make it much easier. I'm from Durham, mate. I'm just saying Jack Morley there. I'm from Durham. Boxed out of Brandon's and was there to watch Joe Miller, as he's a close family friend. Yeah, Joe Miller, great guy, because I think he's managed by Matt Jobs. Good fighter, good prospect, young lad coming through. Abo793. Hi Lawrence, hope you're doing good, bro. Won the fight with Wakey, or the who won the fight? I think Wakey won it. Wakey Wines won the fight. I mean, it was what it was. Not the most technical, but entertaining nonetheless. You've got two guys, they had a bit of rivalry there, and they put on a show for the fans. They got stuck in. Jacob just saying, will I ever fight again? I hope so, to be honest, mate. I'm always training. Anyone that knows me, I mean, check the old guns, they're still there. But it's getting opportunities. Pro boxing's really difficult. If you look at if you look at the light heavyweight division, which I've been in, even the top guys, with big promoters, they're only fighting once or twice a year. So it's been difficult for me to get those opportunities. Just the way it goes, unfortunately. Boxing isn't straightforward. If it was up to me, I would fight regular. I'd fight 10 times a year. I'm that type of guy who likes to box regular because it's that thing like a footballer. You become match fit. There's nothing like it. It's really important. Let me just see if I can do something quickly. Oh, wrong one. If anyone wants to donate to the channel, it all goes straight back into the channel because I'm really trying to do my best with this YouTube channel, grow the channel, and, I just want to improve it so I can give you the best content. So it's much appreciated, anyone that would like to donate. Jacob's just saying he likes Misfits, but I'm not sure if he meant to say do or don't like Misfits. I think he meant to say likes it, but he likes the big names, the likes of KSI. I only really watch the pros, as I hate Misfits. I think I've made, but yeah. The thing is, I mean, me personally, I love boxing of any kind because it's about entertainment. And the thing about Misfits boxing, they're really bringing value in the sense of you're getting 50-50 fights. And the guys come to fight. It's not just about textbook boxing. And I'm a boxing purist, so I do appreciate the textbook boxing. But I think the casual fan just loves to see two people get in there and get stuck into it. In Misfit boxing, what I really appreciate what they're doing, they now start to combine the influencer boxers with professional boxers. So they're kind of catering for both sides. I think it's a really great idea. And I honestly think that Misfits will go from strength to strength. Let me just okay, let me just catch up with some of these chats here. I would expect is what I think Jake Paul will beat Julio Chavez Jr. You would think that Chavez should be good enough to beat Jake Paul, but I don't really know how Chavez Jr. lives his life. Is he living clean? He's not really boxed at any level for a long time. And fair play to Jake Paul, he seems to really live the life. And he can punch, and he's always got that puncher's chance. And again, his last few fights I haven't really been massively impressed because early on I do think he made a lot of improvements, but of late I haven't been that impressed. So it's one of those that'll be interesting to see where both guys are at. It's boxing's crazy, especially as the weights go up. Anything can happen with them 10-ounce gloves. And like I say, I can't really say because Chavez Jr., I just don't know where his head's at, to be honest. I really couldn't tell you. Because if he is on his game, you would think that he's the more experienced guy, been around boxing for a long time. He's got good genes, but he hasn't lived up to his father's reputation. So yeah, I'll be interested to see that one. Let me just zoom in here. Someone's just saying he agrees he can't do the more Dean stuff. Joey Cray. I mean, like of my guy Joey, because Joey's from the Pain game, so he's my mate. The likes of Cray was a good amateur. I totally get it because if you are a real boxing fan, the quality at the lower level with some of these guys on here, it isn't great. But I think, you know, I said it. I've said I'm repeating myself here, but at least at this level, the guys get stuck in. They really go for it because with Misfits, they want entertaining fights. So if you don't give the entertainment, you won't get asked back. So a lot of these guys really go for it. So it depends what you like, to be honest, because if you're a true boxing fan, yeah, you're not going to appreciate it. But if you're a casual fan, you're going to love it. And the fact is, you're getting influencers, guys who are, have already got a fan base. So, they're just going to be interested to see what they're like, see if they can actually fight. So, in my view, if you can bring, fans over to boxing, I think it's a good thing. It doesn't matter because, young kids starting boxing, you see all the crime these days, knife crime, drugs, and, kids on the street going down the wrong path. If something like Misfits can get someone interested, get the young generation coming through interested and get them in boxing gyms, for me, it's nothing but a good thing. Um, Jacob's just saying, will I be watching the Katy Taylor Serrano third fight? And if so, who do I think will win? Uh, he thinks Katy will take the win again. It's a difficult one because Serrano's good, she's strong. Katy Taylor's fast, she's sharp. She's been competing at the highest level for so long as an amateur. I think the last couple of fights when I've watched her, I'm seeing a little bit of deterioration because she's a speed fast fighter, fast feet, fast hands, and as age and you get more miles on the clock, you tend to slow down. It's like if you look at guys like Prince Nazim, Roy Jones, who are reflex-based fighters, all about speed. As they age, they slowly lose that, and they tend to gradually go downhill. And I think we're starting to see Katy Taylor. I hate to say it because you're only as good as your last fight, and for me, I'm seeing a slight deterioration. So it's an interesting one, but I am looking forward to it. It's a 50-50 fight at the end of the day, and I think it depends on what version of Katy Taylor turns up. Guys saying, evening all, Lawrence, all well? Yes, I'm good, mate. The Conor Ben fight versus Eubank slipped into Misfits drama a bit. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I love it. One thing that I really appreciate, even more so that, I haven't been boxing myself, and I kind of look at boxing from a slightly different angle, and I almost appreciate the way the Misfits lot, they really build a fight. The press conferences, the weigh-ins, they're all entertaining. And yes, for the boxing purists, they don't like it, they want the respect. And I'm a kind of on the fence with it, but I also appreciate building a fight. And I think a lot of the professional boxers now, the young pros coming through, could learn from these guys the way they promote themselves. They've all got Instagrams, TikToks, YouTube channels, and that's what you've got to do these days to promote yourself, to gain a following. Because if you don't gain a following, you don't get opportunities. Because I've seen it time and time again with boxers trying to go to turn pro, myself included. You don't get the opportunities if you haven't really built yourself a brand. So it's a fine line, but I do really appreciate what a lot of these influencers are doing. They create their own brand, and then they've come into this boxing, so they've already got a following. So yeah, I appreciate it. I'm not, guys just saying I'm not agreeing with the Bivol versus Beterbiev trilogy going down to the judge's decision and ruin it controversially. To be honest, I've seen it twice. It's a really high level fight, and I absolutely love both fights. I was lucky to be there in Riyadh. But do I need to see a third one? I think I'm done with it, to be honest. I think I've seen enough. I enjoyed the fights. I thought it was great, but I'm just not really interested in a third one, to be honest. Is it just mixing Jake Paul's name with professional boxers to get interest. Yeah, essentially. But what I really respect is the way Jake Paul again is used to what he's created in the influencer world, you know, in his with his YouTube channel and what have you. And then he's come into boxing. You know, he's boxed himself, but he's also created his own promotion, and he's created opportunities for the likes of Amanda Serrano. You know, his fight with Katy Taylor. You know, that probably wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Jake Paul. So you've got to put a little bit of respect on his name. So even if you're a boxing purist and you don't really like what Jake Paul does and represents, you know, previously, you've got to appreciate what he's done for professional boxers. And I'm talking about females because he's creating opportunities. So me personally, I think massive respect to him. Okay, let's get into the let's talk a little bit about the main event. Yes, because Jacob's just saying, do I think Darren Till would beat Jake Paul in KSI? Um, it's an interesting one because I watched Darren Till's last fight and I was impressed. But he was fighting a guy. What's his name? My brain's gone dead. But the guy he was fighting is an ex-MMA fighter, but he was a lot lighter weight, so he wasn't really fighting someone in his own natural weight. So even this fight today, you can see that his opponent, Darren Stewart, is a similar size. So really, I think we're going to get a better gauge on where Darren Till's at, because I do know that I know someone from my gym actually sparred with him at the Rotunda gym in Liverpool. So he's definitely a good fighter. I think even throughout his whole UFC MMA career, he always done his boxing side at the Rotunda gym in Liverpool. And for anybody watching, the Rotunda gym is in the UK in Liverpool, and it's a famous boxing gym. It's produced many champions. The likes of Tony Bellew come from there, the Smith brothers, Callum Smith, Paul Smith, Liam Smith, all those guys, and that's just to name a few. So I'm really looking forward to see how Darren Till does. He's definitely a good striker. I'm just watching this fight here. It's been quite a good level fight. So like to me, this is a lot higher. You know, when you talk about Misfits boxing, this is a decent standard. I'm watching this, and I've seen young pros coming through at this level. So these guys can really fight. You think we'll finally see AJ versus Fury? I do hope so. Sorry, I'm just a little bit cold sitting here. I'm going to put my jumper on. I do really hope so, because I've been crying out for this fight forever, along with everybody else on the planet. It's heavyweight boxing, and we want to see the best fight the best. In Tyson Fury, I've said this many times before on my channel, massive respect to what he's done in his career. You know, there's no doubt in that. But he's cherry-picked his opponents. For me, he's avoided so many fights. And if it hadn't been for Turki Al-Sheikh coming along, would have never seen him fight Alexander Usyk. So I hope it happens. If the fight happens, it'll be down to AJ in the fact that Turki Al-Sheikh gets his money out and makes the fight happen. But yeah, I really do hope. But I'm just got distracted by that one. But yeah, Darren Till, I'm really looking forward to this fight. Because like I say, I was impressed because he showed a lot of technique, which are, you know, a lot of the MMA guys, the punching isn't the best. You know, the run forward, square-footed, kind of running forward, crossing the feet. Whereas Darren Till, you could see that he's been training in a boxing gym of a high level with good operators, because he showed good balance. Even though he kind of had a low guard, he was very well balanced, good head movement. You know, his judgment of distance was good, so I was quite impressed. But again, he was fighting somebody of a slight, like basically in a lower weight class, so I can't really fully gauge him. The size difference, he looked 2 or 3 weight divisions above, so it's really hard to gauge him at this point, but I am looking forward to it. We'll see how it goes. Guys, just saying, Darren Till, the UFC habit of palming off attacks that they are fellow takedown counter. Boxing is different, but he's gone all in, so he has the dedication. Yeah, I think he really does show the dedication. I know that for sure. I mean, I follow him even on Instagram. You can see he's always in the gym. And I know the Rotunda gym, like I say, have produced many champions. So they would expect the same level of dedication from anyone training out of the gym. And I think, his UFC career, he reached the top. You getting into UFC shows that you're a world-class operator, despite getting beat, in these last couple of fights, I think it was. There's no shame in that at that level. You're talking world-class level fighting in a sport that's extremely difficult. You've got punching, you've got groundwork, you've got kicking, you've got a combination of all styles. So, there's many ways to win a fight in the UFC, so it's very difficult. Fox caught with quite a big shot there. He seemed to want to retreat there. This has been a very entertaining fight. Both guys, I mean, the press conference, Fox was really giving it the big one. And both guys have really come to fight. There's definitely a little bit of a needle between the two. And they're showing it here. Yeah, this has been a high-paced fight. This is what I love sometimes, the lighter weight guys. It's fast-paced and really entertaining. Just going to check that my connection's all okay. Yeah, I think it's looking okay. Let me just come over here. I'm just making sure everything's going because I'm a one-man band. So I've got to do all these things myself while streaming. Okay. Let me just check. If there's any other questions, how do you think this fight's looking? Because I've kind of been talking more than I've been watching, to be honest. Because I've been getting some great questions in the comments. How's everyone seeing this fight? Ooh. Just need to catch up with this. Let's see what the comment section's saying. Done something here. Let me just come out here. Stream settings. Yeah, Anthony Taylor. I couldn't think of his name earlier. Who Darren Till fought. Yeah, Jacob's just saying Anthony Taylor was the last opponent who also fought Tommy Fury. And to be fair, I mean, that's another topic to talk about, to be honest. Tommy Fury's not that good. He may have the Fury name, but he hasn't got the boxing ability of his brother, Tyson Fury. But yeah, he really struggled with Anthony Taylor. Yeah. Tommy's, like I said, Tommy's not that good. And in fairness, Anthony Taylor's got a really crude style. He kind of, typical the UFC fighting, he rushes in, he's kind of miles out of range, standing out of range, then he just pounces in. And it caused Tommy all sorts of trouble, which it shouldn't have really, because the size difference, all he needed to do was use his jab and use his feet, keep him at arm's length, like a bull in Matador. But Tommy really struggled, and really, Tommy, the so-called real boxer, struggled more than Darren Till, who isn't a boxer. He's come from the UFC. But like I always say, doesn't matter what the discipline. Well, sorry, it matters if there's some boxing in it. So if you're a kickboxer, a Muay Thai fighter, or UFC, you would have done some boxing. And when you're talking about UFC, you're talking about the elite level. So somebody who's competed at that level is going to be miles above a guy like Tommy Fury, who essentially had no amateur career, next to none. And I think he's had less than 10 fights or something as a professional at a low level. So yeah, I can't really compare the two really. But yeah, Tommy Fury fought was it last week or the week before? I seen highlights of it. He looked terrible. He looked shit, putting it bluntly. He's been lifting the weights. I seen him, on his YouTube channel with Eddie Hall lifting the weights, and he's put on massive amount of muscle. he just looks like a big stiff idiot, to be honest. He's like a robot, typical bodybuilder. You can't be relaxed and fluent if you're spending all your time lifting weights. So yeah, Tommy Fury, shit. I mean, get me on Misfits, I'd box the likes of Tommy Fury in a heartbeat. I mean, I'm not even in full boxing training right now. In 24 hours notice, no problem, I'll deal with him. Let me just... Jacob's just saying, I thought the Fury and Usyk 1 fight was not close, but when I rewatched it, Fury in front up until round 9. I don't think he recovered properly, but he shouldn't have been messing about. Yeah, I mean, me personally, I can't remember exactly how I scored it, but I had it at Usyk all the way through. If off head, I think Fury won the first 4 rounds. Fox got the decision there. I'll need to watch that again. I've been too distracted asking questions, but it was a very close and competitive fight. So, from what I've seen, there's no shame in losing that one because both guys really put it in there. But yeah, I'd have to watch that back. But yeah, Tyson Fury in that fight, for me, I remember he won the first 4 rounds or so. And then I can't remember. I'd have to rewatch it, but I remember when I did score it, I did give it to Usyk, especially when he, got smashed all over in round 9. That was a 10-8 round. And I think he done really well, Fury, when he came out after the round 9 to be on his feet. To be honest, he recovered really well. And Tyson Fury, in fairness, has got one of the best, ability to recover from getting hurt out there. He can really recover really well. But yeah. It's interesting. This is because boxing's so subjective. It totally depends on what you like. Do you like aggression? Do you like a come forward fighter? Do you like the guy on the back foot who's, pot shotting, landing the odd shot here and there? Do you like the guy who's punching with volume, landing a lot of shots, but not cleanly? Or do you like the guy who's landing the power shots? It's so subjective. But to me, it should be all about clean punches landed, regardless. I don't like it when it's just on aggression or whatever. I like to see clean punches landed. That's the way I like to score boxing. Guys just saying the fight the other night was strange. Looked like Tommy was on top, but backed off and evaded for too long. It was just strange. I think Tommy just lacks confidence in his chin, maybe, because he was kind of cowering away, really. He really didn't look confident. Which, again, the level that he's kind of fighting at, I do find a little bit strange. What have I just done here? How would I get this off? Oh, I've just messed something up there. What have I just done? Chat message in. I've done something there. Just messed up. How do I get that back up? I've just took off. Activity. Oh, there we go. Press something there, and I lost the chat. Yeah, Body Beautiful, Tommy Fury, Love Island Fury. Exactly. Nobody knew who Tommy Fury was until he went into Love Island. So, he's not really known for being a boxer. He's known for being pretty. He's a good-looking guy, got a good physique. And, he clearly likes his physique because he spent more time lifting weights than he has been boxing. When Jacob's just saying, when KSI and Tommy Fury fought, did you think KSI was robbed? He didn't. He didn't think that Fury was landing more shots than KSI. Again, these fights I watched quite a while ago. And I think, if I remember correctly, I can't remember arguing with the decision. So I think Tommy did deserve to win, but I would have to rewatch it because it was quite a while ago. I think I might have done a live stream on the Pain game with True Geordie and the lads. But in fairness to KSI, because Vidal Riley, if anyone follows him, he's the current British cruiserweight, the British cruiserweight champion, who's also got a channel on here in a former KSI's, he trained KSI as well early on in his career. Yeah, it's an interesting one. I think he's very athletic because Vidal Riley said he can really punch, and so did True Geordie. He said he can really bang, so he can clearly he's got power to punch, and I think that's why Tommy Fury was a little bit hesitant when he fought him. He probably felt his power, and the fact that Vidal Riley said that, I take his word. So he can obviously punch a bit. And he said he's kind of like a natural athlete. He's got speed. So yeah, I think KSI has got like what you call natural ability. He's not the most technical, but what he does, he's got this. Have you seen the way he does this? Almost like he's doing star jumps, unorthodox style. I think it gave Tommy again. I feel like talking about Tommy, I'm giving too much attention here, but the simple fact is Tommy Fury is shit. So he struggled with KSI, but that's not really a good indicator of how good KSI is what I'm kind of saying. So it's an interesting one. KSI's rubbish, Jacob's saying. It's funny because I think, again, from the outside looking in, he does look rubbish, but I think boxing, getting in there with him, I think because of his speed and he's got quicker feet than he looks, the way he can just shoot in the range, and he's got a bit of power, I think he's quite unorthodox. So people, traditional boxers at that lower level maybe will struggle with him. But yeah, it's hard to judge. But the only thing I can go off is the fact that Vidal Riley said, he can punch a bit, he can box a bit. So that's all I can personally go off. Until you've actually been in there with someone, it's hard to judge. And you can only judge them against their opponents that they're fighting. And he's not really fighting at a high level, so it's difficult. At least with, you say, Jake Paul, he's fought some higher level guys, so we can kind of get a better indication of where he's at. Yeah, Fox won. By the way, someone's just asking. Yeah, guys, just saying about Fury's ability to recover. It's second to none. Philippa Brown saying, I think Usyk is under celebrated. Came up a weight and took out the juggernauts who had skill. Yeah, I think. Am I reading that correctly? Yeah, I think Alexander Usyk. I think you're making a great point there. I think Alexander Usyk is unbelievable. But when I was on GB, he fought my mate Joe Joyce in the amateurs in WSB over 5 rounds. And at the time, he was at 91 kilos. And WSB didn't have a cruiserweight. So he went up to heavyweight and he beat my mate Joe Joyce. Unbelievable. He's someone, when you were on GB, the coaches used to get us to study him because as a southpaw, you always need to study them. And he's one of the best. So I've been watching Alexander Usyk for years. Unbelievable. This is the thing. One thing I always say, any fighter over 13, 14 stone who can punch a little bit, and generally any man over 13 to 14 stone in boxing at this level can punch. But especially when you start to get to 14, 15 stone, and it's a class example of the size, because sometimes these big guys, once you get past a certain weight, it's like diminishing returns, and the extra weight isn't beneficial. And don't get me wrong, I wouldn't say that with Tyson Fury, because for a man as big as him and physically, aesthetically not looking great, he can box, like Muhammad Ali in terms of up on his toes. It's unbelievable. It's almost like the science is all wrong. He defies science. He shouldn't be able to move like that with this big gut that he carries. It's unbelievable. But yeah, I really think Alexander Usyk should be celebrated. And I was over in Saudi for the Ring Magazine event, and I got to meet him. I didn't actually speak to him, but I was in touching distance, and it was great just to be in his presence. But he's just got an aura about him. He's got this personality. Even being in the room with him, not speaking to him, he's got this warmth about him. He's so entertaining, and I just think he's a really nice guy all round. I think he's the perfect guy to represent boxing all round. Someone's got someone singing coming out for what's his name? Right, where we're at. Let's see. I could watch Lemonchenko over and over. Yeah, them Ukrainians. I mean, I've boxed people from Ukraine as an amateur. They just have a great amateur setup. Oh, thank you so much there. Cyber Org Boxing is sent over a super chat. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. I always say, anyone wanting to donate, it's much appreciated. It gets pumped straight back into the channel because I'm trying to give the best possible content. I work really hard on here on YouTube, learning the craft. It's been quite difficult learning how to, grow on the channel, doing thumbnails. Just the whole process has been great, difficult but great. So yeah, I'm working really hard trying to give the best possible content. So it's much appreciated. Yeah, much appreciated. I'm just trying to do something here quickly. Been looking forward to this one. Really been looking forward to this one. One moment. Yeah, Chase. I couldn't think of his name there. Chase is a little bit mouthy for my liking. Does he back it up in the ring? This is what we're gonna find out. But I remember when he fought, I can't think of his name now, but one of his early fights. Again, a guy that's physically, aesthetically beautiful, but stiff. Not the most natural boxer, but we'll see, because the guy who's fighting here, Tank. I can't remember if he's come from the UFC, or like not UFC, mixed martial arts or kickboxing. But again, he's got experience in fighting, combat sport regardless. So it'll be interesting to see how Chase does here. Just it's time for Chase to back up all that talk now. Filler. Tom Aspinall used to spar with Fury. Good striking practice. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Tom Aspinall, God, he's an animal in the UFC. There's a reason why John Jones doesn't want to fight him. You can really fight that guy. Yeah, he's very underrated. I mean, I don't think he gets enough credit as well. I think he needs to be celebrated, because Tom Aspinall will fight anyone, and he's all round, on the ground, on stand up, excellent. James Todd, Joshua versus Fury, who wins? This is another one where I hate not being able to give clear answers, but the simple fact is, Fury, what's he got left? He's been in a lot of hard fights. There you go. I'm just looking at Chase here. His chin's in the air when he's getting attacked and trying to punch. his chin's just hung out to dry. But yeah, and I've always said, just going back to the question, Anthony Joshua, I've always said that him on his day at his best is all wrong for Tyson Fury with his aggressive come forward style. But we haven't seen the best version of Joshua in a while. So it's an interesting one because both guys were seeing what happened to AJ against Daniel DeMoore. He got absolutely wiped out. So it's all guessing games right now of where the guys are at because both of them, when it comes to age, are past the best. I would say Tyson Fury's probably abused his body more, but somehow, he still performs well in the ring. And then AJ, he lives the life. He's a clean living athlete. But it's always been the mental side for him, and he hasn't always performed. So it's a real interesting one to see how he does. I really do hope the fight happens because, to be honest, I'm sick of beating the drums about it. To be honest, I just want the fight to happen so we can almost move along because it'll be one of those fights that'll be talked about forever until it happens. So yeah. Cyborg boxing 6 a.m. Who was fighting? This is Chase DeMoore versus Tank Tolman, however you pronounce this. I'm not the best at pronunciations. If Darren Till keeps winning, do you think Tommy will fight him? Nope. I think Tommy will run for the hills because he's an absolute pussy. Um, I think just the. I think he might do if he sees holes in Darren Till's game. If not, he might duck. Well, he's already ducked him, because Darren Till mentioned about doing a kick if he's not winning in a press conference. People talk all sorts of rubbish in a press conference. It's part of the trash talking. So, yeah, it's a bit of a funny one. But, yeah, you're probably right. The fact that if he sees holes, he'd probably take the fight because there's money involved. But right now, he's too scared. He went running. Guys just saying Fury wins if he takes it seriously. But will AJ want to fight straight after his surgery? So when will it happen if it's going to? I can't see it happening before probably September. Because from what I've seen from an interview that AJ done, he said that it's keyhole surgery and it's not like he's having tendons reattached or anything. I think it's a case of the elbow joints. You often, like, all boxers get it. I've had it where, because you lock your arms out sometimes when you're boxing, if you miss a shot or even off it's like a repetitive strain injury when you're hitting the bags, sparring, hitting pads. You get like a build-up of bone in the end of in your elbow joint, and it causes friction and irritation and inflammation. So from what I've gathered, he's getting keyhole surgery to just grind away a little bit of that bone. So I think the recovery is quite quick. So I don't think you'll need too long. But I mean, I'm not a surgeon. I'm not a physiotherapist. I'm just going off what he said. And from my experience when I've spoken to other guys that have had similar types of injuries. But it all depends because with keyhole surgery, they go in with a camera and sometimes they find more damage, more inflammation or more issues. So until, he hits the deck. I think... Chase is trying to say it was more of a slip, but he got hit bang on the button. But his chin is up here. I mean, get me on Misfits. I want to fight these guys. I mean, I'm a light heavyweight. I'm probably sitting at about 14 and a half stone right. Oh, Chase is definitely hit. Oh, big shots there getting landed. Oh, he's hurt. I mean, he's got zero defense. Absolutely zero. Like, it's absolutely novice city. It's ridiculous. I mean, all you need to do in that situation is put your hands here, put your hands up. But he's doing this. I mean, It's laughable. How can you be so confident in a press conference, talk all the trash talking, and have zero boxing ability? One thing I will say, he showed slightly better feet in this fight, but his chin position and his hand position is terrible. He can only attack. He's got no defense. This is crazy. Absolute mental. um, I'm just catching up on the chat here. Aspinall versus Jones doesn't happen. I hope it happens. Cyborg boxing saying he could beat both of these guys. I bet you could, mate. I would love to. I mean, I don't know what these guys are getting paid. They'll probably be getting paid better than a lot of professional. Oh! Was that balance or did he get caught there? I mean, let's face it, the level of both of these guys isn't great. And this guy said that he could fight. He's meant to have, I can't remember if it's kickboxing, his background, but I'm not seeing, I mean, the level here is just terrible. Let's be honest. But I mean, it's value. If you're a casual fan, it's entertaining to watch. I mean, to be honest, I'm enjoying this. Honey versus Wardley. Who you got? It's so. I feel like I feel like I'm not doing a very good job today because a lot of these questions, the people where they're kind of in no man's land. There's not enough data on them. So even someone like Wardley, Wardley's like personally, I've been really impressed. He come from an unlicensed boxing background, and he's beaten Fraser Clark, my old teammate, by the way. If anyone checks my Instagram or my YouTube channels and watch my videos, Fraser Clark was one of my best mates on GB, and he's a really good operator. I think he was Olympic bronze medalist. And Fabio Wardley's just come in, unlicensed boxing, and knocked Fraser out, caved his face in. But this is where heavyweight boxing is almost a weight division, a league of its own, because the power punch and the strength and the size almost defies all the rules of boxing, because it doesn't matter how good you are, if you get hit with a bomb at heavyweight, a guy that can really punch, it's game over. It doesn't make any difference. And like I say, Wardley, he's a kind of at a stage in his career where we need to find out, because even the first fight against Fraser Clark, you could see the inexperience, and I think that you can see that he's naturally got the physical attributes because he's a natural athlete. You can see that he's got power, he's got a chin, he's got speed. He's probably more physically gifted than even Fraser Clark. Fraser Clark's more a product of hard work, years and years of hard work. Whereas Wardley, like I say, what he lacks in experience, he makes up for in heart, in physical attributes. So it's going to be interesting to see how he gets on. AJ needs to distance himself. Guys just saying AJ needs distance and setup time, which DeMoore didn't give him. Didn't give him time to think. No, you're right. Interest in DeMoore. How will he do against Usyk? This is where, me personally, I can't see. Oh! Chase has just absolutely caught him and he's out. Fair play to Chase. He was rocked earlier, but he's just caught him there and he's badly hurt. I think it's over. Yeah, his legs are gone, I think. Yeah, he's done. Somehow Chase has backed it up. I mean, wow. I honestly thought he was going to get beat there, well, a round ago, and he's just absolutely turned it around. And this is exactly what I was just saying. In the heavyweight division, one punch can just change everything. And we've just literally, as I was talking about it, it happened. That's crazy. But yeah, with regards to Daniel DeMoore versus Usyk, I can't see anybody beating Usyk. The only chance that Daniel's got is that Usyk's on the slight decline because he's getting older. even though I haven't really massively seen a massive decline, maybe fractionally, but it's difficult because every fight's different depending who you're fighting. So, and styles make fights, so it'll be really interesting. But I do think the version that Usyk's going to fight now is a lot better. Daniel mentally is more confident, and even technically, I think he's made a lot of improvements. So yeah, I think he's got a much better chance, but I would still pick Usyk as the favourite. Let me just check over here. Just making sure everything's going okay. Appreciate everyone watching, by the way. Everyone that's tuned in, you're much appreciated. Just trying to do something here quickly. Okay. Let's see if I can get the studio back up and running. Yeah, that's respect the to Chase there. You got the job done. Guys just saying, think of the money I can walk away with. This is what I'm saying. Well, to be honest, a little bit of inside, seeing as everyone's tuned in, I'll give you a little bit of inside information. True Geordie's already mentioned. Is that another donation there by Cyborg Boxing? I'm not sure, but I'm still getting to grips with all of this, and it looks like there's been another donation. Let me know if that's another it must be. I'm not too sure. Oh no, I've just went back. Oh yeah, I forgot to hit the like. All right, okay. Thank you, mate. Appreciate it. Yeah, everybody watching, make sure to hit the like and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I always forget to ask people this. Oh yeah, thank you, Cyber Borg Boxing. I don't know if I pronounced that right. My pronunciations are terrible. Thank you very much, mate. Really, really appreciate it. It really helps the channel. Really helps me grow this channel. It's so much appreciated. It always amazes me, the people who tune in and watch and, they take the time to watch my content alone. That's massively appreciated. Donating to the channel. It's really, really appreciated. It blows my mind that people's generosity sometimes. Thank you. James Todd, has Dave Allen weighed in at 265 blown his chances of a win against Fisher? That's an interest. Oh, what's happened here? Oh, I thought my stream had disappeared there. Went black for a second. Is this up to date? I think it's yeah, to be honest, when I seen his weight, Dave Allen's weight at the weigh-in, I was a little bit disappointed. But physically, I kind of look at people's face as well, and he did look better in the face. So it's really hard to judge sometimes because, again, he's another guy that's not body beautiful. But I do know his trainer, Jamie Moore, is a great trainer, and he wouldn't take. I don't think he would put up with Dave Allen not putting in the work. So maybe his diet hasn't been perfect, so physically he doesn't look the best. But I know he would have been working hard in the gym, and Dave Allen says he has been. So it's interesting because he needs to be fitter. He needs to be fitter, smarter, more intelligent because Johnny Fisher's young, he's hungry, he's got a massive, fan base. He wouldn't put in the work. He went away to a training camp abroad. I'm not too sure where he went to isolate himself. So he's made that choice to really, lock yourself away so you can put in the work, get in the zone mentally. Because in the first fight, he said he didn't. It's not that he didn't take it seriously, but he was too nice, he was too respectful. Whereas this time he's all business, so he says. But he's also going to have that little bit of mental trauma of what happened in the fight, the way he got badly hurt. But yeah, I hope, I really, because I'm probably a little bit biased in the sense I am team Dave Allen, because I knew him from my GB days. He used to come sparring with the likes of AJ, Joe Joyce, Fraser Clark, Warren Baster. So I've seen him for years. Great guy. He can't really box, but back in the day he didn't put in the work. But now, he seems to be working hard, training hard. So I'm hoping that he has done. I hope he's not just here for the money, for the payday. I'm hoping that he's going to back his word and that he's put in the work and he puts on a good performance. And it's not that I want him to beat Fisher so badly, because I like both guys, to be honest. But I know Dave, so I'm kind of backing him. Yeah, make sure to hit the like and subscribe, people, if you haven't already. Yeah, Chase, I'm just replying to Guy there. Chase done well to come back off that. He's done very well. Philip Brown. Remember how well Bellew did against Usyk before he got knocked out? Such a good fighter, and look how well Usyk done against the big boys at heavyweight. No, you're right. You're totally right. Because again, Tony Bellew is someone I've always followed, and he's not just he calls himself the bomber. Yes, he's really got a good punch. But if you've ever seen any interviews with Tony Bellew, he's very good defensively. Like, he used to study all the greats. He can slip and slide. He doesn't just stand there with a typical British boxing style. I'm saying British boxing style when I say that. Years ago, boxing, people used to describe the British boxers as big, tall, upright fighters. I know that's not the case now, but that's the stereotype. But Tony Bellew is a bit more like an American-style boxer. He's a bit more slick. He's not like when I say he's slick, he doesn't show off. He's not a showboater, but he's got a bit of a shoulder roll type of thing. But yeah, he's a very good fighter. And he actually, in the first, I can't remember what round did you just say, what round he got stopped? Was it round 9? Yeah, I think it was. I'm going to guess it was about round 8 or 9 that Tony Bellew got stopped off Usyk, but he was doing really well up until that point. He was giving Usyk all sorts of trouble. He really was. So in a way, if any boxers watch that fight, they should be studying it, because he kind of showed how to beat Usyk, because he definitely was winning rounds. And you could say that Usyk was just putting the pressure on, biding his time till he got the knockout, in which he did. So I can't really argue, but he definitely showed some holes in Usyk's armory. Have a watch of Torsi. I'm not even going to try to pronounce them names here, Cyborg Boxing. But I will. I'll check it out, mate. Heavyweight Slugfest. I'll check it out. Edwin, I commented on your Alan Fisher post saying Alan doesn't care about being great. He doesn't care about being great. Yeah, I replied to all my comments, by the way. I always try to get back to everyone. Forgive me if I can't remember exactly what I replied. But yeah, I personally think Alan does. It's really difficult because he's quite a fun, jokey type of guy. So it's hard to kind of properly judge what he says versus what he does. And, in the past, his career, he hasn't took boxing seriously. So it's really hard to take his word when he's lived his boxing life, his boxing career that way. But all I can go off his word. And he says that he's put in the work now. And even judging off the Fisher fight, it was a good version. He boxed for 12 rounds. Was it 10 rounds? 10 rounds at a decent pace. So I can't really argue that he takes boxing more seriously. And to be honest, he's got young children now. He says, he needs to provide. So that's the biggest incentive you can get. So I hope so. I hope he's put in the work because I do think he does care now. I don't think he's in it just for money. Don't get me wrong, the money's definitely an incentive too because the boxing's too dangerous not to think about money. You want to be paid well. It's a dangerous sport. Yeah, guys just saying Dave realizes he could have took it a lot more seriously years ago, but I hope the weight isn't an indicator of his prep. But did Fisher hurt Dave? I don't think. I definitely think there was a few shots that he got caught with and felt. But I don't think he was badly hurt. I think he was just, it's heavyweight boxing. You feel the big punches. But yeah, bear with me, guys. I'm just gonna quickly nip to the toilet because that's unfortunately these. I need to go. Nature's called. Give me 1 minute, 2 minutes. I'll be back. One momento. I'm just trying to. I'm just gonna have to quickly but just before Idris, Virgo versus Ty Mitchell. This is the fight I've really been looking forward to. So bear with me. I'll be back in 2 minutes. And we're back. Had to be quick there. Okay. There's a lot of needle involved here. In Idris Virgo, I don't know how to put this politely, but he's a bit of a wanker. And another guy that I would happily fight. He's certainly not liked by the general public. And I think he kind of leans into that bad guy vibe, but I don't like the way he goes about it, to be honest. I really, really don't like him. He's the thing is, Ty Mitchell, his dad, is well known as a professional coach, and he's known also Ty Mitchell for sparring with the likes of Tyson Fury. They seem to be good mates. So I think he's mixed in the spot in the gym, sparring with a lot of good guys. So it's interesting because his last opponent wasn't great. His debut on Misfits. So we're going to see again Idris because he's got a boxing background, a professional boxer years ago before he got into Misfits. But he looks like to me, it's hard to see because I haven't seen him in person, but he looks to me more like a super middleweight at best, to be honest. There's a big difference in size. So Ty Mitchell, I think he's just massive for light heavyweight. Just checking out the comments here. Edwin, and he comes in even heavier after a full cam and really looked fat. Yeah, it is interesting because he did look big. He looked, I don't know, because it's heavyweight boxing. You can still be fit and look not the best. We're gonna have to wait and find out. Jacob Kruzak. I'm not too sure of the pronunciation. Forgive me. Going away from British boxing, who do you think about Ryan versus Haney 2 if it happens? Haney didn't look great in his last fight. Ryan didn't look great in his last fight. I'm not too sure. I would have said previously Ryan all day, but both guys didn't look great in the last fight over in New York. So it's a who turns up really. But I'm going to go with Ryan Garcia because I just feel as if he's got his number. I think stylistically he's all wrong for Haney. We're not all these promises going to fight Opataya. Yeah, do you know what it is? What a fighter. He's an absolute, for me, one of the pound-for-pound fighters. I don't know where's he at? He deserves the opportunities. I don't know why he's not getting them. It's a real shame, to be honest. Edwin's just saying you always reply, and I definitely follow your channel and respect your opinion. Thank you so much, mate. If anyone who watches my channel, I'm here to give my opinion, not to say that I can do it better than all the fighters, but I've been around boxing for 20 plus years. I've boxed at the highest level as an amateur, and as a professional, I'm a professional boxer also. I've mixed with some great fighters, so my goal here on YouTube is just to give my experience and my honest opinion, and I appreciate everyone who follows the channel. It means a lot. So yeah, it's never get it wrong that I'm on my channel looking down on any fighters saying, you know, I could do it better. That's not my angle that I'm trying to give. I just want to give my honest opinion and my experience. The American guys are struggling against the British boxers lately. Yeah, that's interesting. If Conor Ben went down to 147, he could have beaten Haney. Yeah, I think British boxing, in fairness to us, we've been doing really well. We've been, I don't know why that is. I feel as if America is such a bigger country. You know, there used to be it used to be the best boxing in the world came from America, but I don't know what's happened. It's almost like, has the amateur system, you know, I don't know, have they got a good program these days? I don't know what's happened. Is there been a lack of funding? But we're not getting the good amateurs that are progressing into the pros. I really don't know what's happening, to be honest. Okay, let's go here. Ty Mitchell. Fairness to Virgo, he's went straight on the front foot, trying to apply the pressure. I wasn't too sure how... Oh! The range difference there with Ty Mitchell. He just stepped back and threw a straight backhand. He's huge for the weight. I mean, you could jab him from the other side of the ring. This is what Idris is going to struggle with, the range, because he's got to find a way. Because what's happening right now, he's coming in at straight lines. His head's in the same place. You've got to take your head off at an angle, you know, slip your way in. You can't just shoot in a range with your head in the middle. It's an accident waiting to happen. Yeah, see, all he's doing there, he's waiting, then shooting in. There's no real thought process in what he's doing. You've got to, in boxing, this is what people don't understand. You know, this is his lack of experience, because when you're fighting a taller guy, you've got to sometimes make them lead off, and then you can counter. You can't just shoot in, because they'll time you coming in. Because of the longer reach, they'll beat you to the punch. It's that simple. So you've got to feint, draw the lead, and then you can go. Move in. It's just basic boxing. It's Mike Tyson and Alexander Usyk. Smaller guys, but they've got great head movement. Angles, moving off at angles. You can't come in straight lines. Yeah, Idris Virgo's body language is just starting to change. I think he's realising this is a bigger task than he realised. Oh, Mitchell just threw a left hook there. reminiscent of a southpaw left hook that Alexander Usyk would throw. He would throw a straight backhand, and then he would loop it around the corner. The same punch that he stopped Tony Bellew with, the same punch that he rattled Tyson Fury with. It's a classic punch that southpaws seem to get success with. Yeah, Mitchell's shown good feet here. Good judgment of distance. He's basically just keeping it at arm's length. He's not letting Idris get into range. Yeah, Ty's looking very confident, hands down in his waist there, sliding along the ropes. Already, Idris is just looking a little bit sloppy and messy. It's like, he almost looks like he doesn't know what to do. He's like, oh, this wasn't meant to happen. It was meant to be easier than this. Yeah, there's zero. I don't know what his game plan is, but if when he gets back to the corner, if he makes it, his corner need to give him some serious tactics. There was that looping left hook again from Ty. Ty Mitchell, you know what it is? He deserves to dance in his face because the way Idris was going on in the press conference, bringing up things of the past. Yes, we all know with Ty Mitchell in his past, he made a terrible mistake. I don't really want to get into it, but you can't judge someone off mistakes that they make. You know, years ago, everybody has the opportunity, you know, or should I say, everyone should be given a second chance, regardless what they've done, if they're willing to change their life. And I do know that Ty Mitchell, you know, he's dedicated his life to, you know, bettering himself, and I think he does charity work. So I've got to give him credit. And, you know, all Idris has got to go off is, you know, that's all he can say, really. He's got nothing else to really come back with. But he just wouldn't shut up. He wouldn't let anyone talk. And I think they removed him in the end from the press conference, which I was glad about. Where we're at. I'm just trying to get through the comments quickly on the break. But this is an interesting fight. I can't really take my eyes off it. Edwin's just in all of the bigger, better athletes in America. Generally speaking, I mean, you know, they produce some giants over there, and, you know, numbers count. It's a bigger country, so they have a bigger selection of better athletes. But in boxing, British are taking over. It just shows, to me, it's a reflection of the grassroots boxing, because it all starts at grassroots. In Great Britain has one of the best amateur boxing setups in the world. I've obviously lucky enough to be involved with. I was on GB for 4 years, and we were one of the best institutes for sport in the world. The results prove it. And if you've got good grassroots, that feeds into the professional ranks. Oh, big left hook there from Ty, and he definitely felt that Idris Virgo there, because his eyes shut and he looked stunned for a moment. Whew. Is Ty 175? I think so. I think this is light heavyweight division. Oh, that Ty can't miss with that left hook. And for everyone watching, if you don't realise, when I say left hook, he's a southpaw, so he's got his right hand in front. So it's technically like a backhand hook, a bent arm shot. Traditionally, when you say left hook, people think of an orthodox fighter with a left hand in front. But this is a backhand from a southpaw stance. And that's their power shot, the biggest shot. Oh! Ty's just sitting back, judging the distance, and throwing it as Virgo's coming in. Oh, that was a bit of a Billy Joe Saunders thing there. Just turned his head along the ropes. I'm surprised he didn't give it that one. The only thing is, if Ty keeps doing the same... Oh! As I say that, he tried something different. He threw a lead right uppercut. Beautiful shot. I was going to say, if Ty gets a little bit too predictable... Ron McCracken is a great coach for GB. It's Rob McCracken, guy. Yeah, I obviously work with him on GB. Great coach. The proof's in the pudding. He's been great for GB boxing, and he's done a great job with Carl Froch. And I think he's worked with other professionals as well. Oh, that shot that Ty's thrown, it's really relaxed. He just whips it in. A powerful shot. It doesn't look like a lot, but power comes from relaxation and speed. And it's got that snap at the end of it. Yeah, I like what I'm saying from Ty. I think he'd be a very awkward fighter to fight. I'd fight him myself. But I think he'd be very awkward. He's very long, very long limbs, good feet. And he's definitely got a bit of power, a bit of pop to his shots. And he's a southpaw. You know, southpaws have always got a massive advantage. Mike Tyson once said, English people are tough, more game than Americans. Not necessarily better fighters, but tough. Maybe so, maybe so. It's a difficult one because in the past there's been some great, you know, American fighters, so I can't really... I'm not too sure about that one. And, you know, America, when you talk about crime and gangsters and, you know, that lower class, the lower class in America, you know, you have some seriously tough people that come out of America. And British have got a really good support system. You know, if you're having trouble with work, we've got the dole. You know, if you've got no money in America, you end up on the streets. You haven't got the same support system that you've got in the UK. I think the UK are very lucky. Oh, Idris just caught Ty with a shot there, with a right hook himself. That's the problem with Ty's style. He's very relaxed, good feet. But if he misjudges the distance, I just seen that Fraser Clark's actually in the crowd. I think he's friends with Ty Mitchell, I think. He ran to the corner and tried to give him some advice. I'm pretty sure Fraser's friends with Ty, because knowing Fraser, I don't think he would be friends with Idris Virgo. He's not very likable, is Idris Virgo. Michael Smith's just saying, you're no longer doing boxing watch-alongs with True Geordie. It's not so much that, it's just True Geordie, he's been doing some work with the Ring magazine. In Turkey Al Sheikh, he controls them big shows. So yeah, he wanted him, True Geordie and Wade together to do the Ring magazine events. So that's the way it's going, because we were doing Riyadh Season Boxing, which is the different promotions. So there's no doubt we'll be doing stuff together in the future. And I personally train True Geordie, so I speak to him regular, so we're kept up to date with what's going on. But what you've got to remember is True Geordie, that's the Pain Game, is his channel. And obviously the opportunity with the Ring magazine event, that's separate to the Pain Game. He still streams it on his channel, but it's just slightly different. Massive respect to True Geordie. I mean, he's not only my brother, but he's given myself and all the rest of the lads on the Pain Game some amazing opportunities. We're forever grateful for the opportunities that he's given us. You know, he's worked very hard for many years to make his YouTube channel what it is. So he's the one who's created these opportunities, and we've been lucky enough to be part of it. And you know, I've been over at the Tyson Fury versus Usyk. I was on there for the 5 versus 5 in Saudi. I was at Wembley for Anthony Joshua versus Daniel DeMoore. I've been very fortunate. This fight's looking a little bit... I think Ty's looking a little bit more tired. And it's kind of playing into Idris's aggressive style coming forward. Oh, as I say that, he gets... Whoa, he's hurt. Badly hurt. He is rocked to his boots. I better not open my mouth, the bad luck. I've got the Drake curse. Let's see if Idris knows how to survive, because he was rocked to his boots there. His defense has pretty much disappeared. He's one. Oh, they stopped it. Oh! Listen, Ty's just stopped him. And after the bullshit that he was given at the press conference, I'm happy for him. I'm really happy for him. Because, listen, anybody that gets in a boxing ring I give respect for. But I didn't like the way that Virgo's been going on. And, yeah, I didn't like the way he's been behaving. I'm happy. I'm really happy that he's been stopped there. And I don't generally like to say that, because, like I say, respect to anybody that gets in the ring. But there's a fine line when you're trash talking, and I just didn't like the way he was going on. Even when Darren Till was trying to talk at the press conference, he was talking over him. I mean, Darren Till, have some respect. You know, he's a world-class athlete from the UFC. He's fought at the highest level. Shut your mouth, pipe down, and let him talk. So, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, what's Idris achieved? Nothing. So, know your place. Oh, that was beautiful. Right hook, left hook. Then a barrage of punches. He done well to stay on his feet, Idris, to be honest. Yeah, I like the way Ty just took a little lean back, had a look. Bang, bang, bang. Another big shot there. Backs him up on the ropes. Yeah, the referee done the right thing because I don't think... I'm not too sure if he was going to recover there. Because Ty was really loading up there. That was reminiscent of someone the likes of... I'm not going to say it's him, but you know, likes of David Hay when he used to let his hands go. The hands would drop and he would just swing, put everything into his shots. Kind of a bit like a Prince Nazim shooting from the ground, really putting leverage into his shots. That was a good performance there from Ty Mitchell. I'm impressed. I'm really impressed. Let me try and have a look at some of these comments because I kind of lost track there. Let me just see. See if I can get to... Edwin, just as my father was an assistant to Roberto Duran. Nice. A few other important guys in boxing world. I was born into it. It's been my passion since the 70s. Massive respect, mate. Well, funny enough, I also met Roberto Duran. I've got a picture on my Instagram. Have a look. With Roberto Duran, the Hands of Stone. I was absolutely over the moon because he's one of my boxing heroes because my uncle and my granddad was a professional boxer, but my uncle loved Roberto Duran. He used to say, if you want to learn inside boxing, go and watch him. Yeah, let's see the reaction from Idris. Pipe down, shut your mouth. Snow Forest is saying American athletes are now going into other sports where they don't have to be physical. Okay. Cyborg Boxing. Everyone should donate to the channel. Don't be tight asses. Thank you, mate. Thanks for giving that shout out. Yeah, anybody wanting to donate to the channel? Because, you know, when I'm sitting here trying to give my experience and knowledge, you know, this is my time. So the donations are massively appreciated because I can pump the money back into the channel and grow the channel. And it makes it worth my while doing these live streams. So yeah, anybody wanting to donate, it's massively appreciated. And while I'm at it, don't forget to like and subscribe if you're not already. Anyone watching also, I'm planning on doing a live stream tomorrow night. For Dave Allen versus Johnny Fisher. I did try to do the stream twice, 3 times I attempted tonight, and my internet wasn't working. I normally go from my office upstairs, but I'm actually downstairs. I've had to plug it in, and it still didn't work. So I cancelled the stream again, and then I tried it one more time, changed a few settings, and it worked. So I'm hoping tomorrow night that the stream works again because I'm really looking forward to that fight as well. And to be honest, the stream tonight I wasn't actually going to do, but last minute I thought I'm gonna stream it because I wanted to watch it anyway. And my guy Joey Knights was on, and I didn't even get the stream working properly, so that was a shame. So I didn't start the stream till later on. But yeah, I've enjoyed it, the boxing so far here. Philip Brown, if you started boxing again, is there anything you would have changed on the come up? Yes, there's a lot of things, but that's not because like I'm saying I could have done this better, that better, this better. Of course you could. Hindsight is a great thing, but unfortunately in life you learn as you go along, and there's also that saying you can't put old heads on young shoulders. It's just the way it is. But to be honest, my way in boxing, there's not many things I would change in my early career. It's a little bit towards the end. I'm saying the end. It's not over yet necessarily. I'm just waiting for opportunities. But you know, my professional side of boxing, definitely. There's a lot of choices I made which I would have done differently now. But again, you learn from your experiences. You don't know till you've done it. I can sit here now because I've made the mistakes and say, I should have done that, I should have done this. But at the time, you sometimes just take the best options that you've got in front of you. You know, it's not like every step of the way there's a multitude of options. That's not always the case. But just to kind of name a few things, well, the biggest thing that I would change, because in my career I've always been disciplined. I started boxing at the age of 19, and I won the ABAs within 3 years. Within 2 years, I got the ABA finals. In the third year of boxing, I won the national championships, which is pretty much unheard of. Not many people do that. I think like Anthony Joshua done a similar thing. Joe Joyce was really quick as well. Funny enough, I was on GB with both of these guys. But generally speaking, it doesn't happen that often. And again, the only thing I can put that down to is I was always good at sports in general. I was always fit. I must naturally have good physical attributes. And when you've got good physical attributes, you can kind of make up for the lack of experience sometimes. And I also made up for discipline. I trained harder than most guys because at that age, when I started at 19, I was a little bit more mentally focused, more mature, and I took it seriously. A lot of the guys in the local area were just training in the gym. My uncle, lucky enough, that's where I was lucky. I had my uncle who was experienced, a good amateur, good professional. So again, he passed his experience to me. So I was lucky to have that experience where pretty much every week he took me sparring at different gyms. It takes you out of your comfort zone and you're sparring different people. It's almost like having a fight, because when you turn up at other gyms, it's like going at the lion's den. So you're kind of getting used to being, you know, almost the away fighter. And it's the same when you go to a fight. You're going to get that feeling of other people's fans, other people wanting you to lose, essentially. I think that experience was really valuable. And again, just going to other gyms, you're sparring different people. Rather than only sparring in your own gym, you're not really gaining as much experience. But the biggest advice I would give to any young fighters, which I never done, was build a brand. And when I say that, you don't necessarily need to build a brand, but it's almost like being active on all social medias. Get your name out there. And when I say build a brand, you kind of do, because you need to create interest. Why do people want to come and watch you? Because unfortunately in boxing, especially in pro, it's not so much in amateur boxing, but in professional boxing, people aren't interested just in the fine art. They want to see a personality. They want to see either personality and knockout punchers, that's it, or guys that get hit, get put down and get back up, like a Rocky film. So by building a brand, creating a personality, people get interested, and you'll create a following. And when you turn professional, promotions want to see that you can sell tickets. If you can't sell tickets, I don't care if you're the next Floyd Mayweather, you won't get on a show if you can't sell tickets. So you need to create a fan base. That's probably the biggest advice I could give to anyone. Early in my career as a professional, I was a little bit too nice. You know, even me doing YouTube now, I've learned so much from the influencer boxers, being more vocal. And, you know, even since I've started YouTube, I've created a following. And hopefully, unfortunately, the timing's been off for when I was at my best. And when I say at my best, when I was at the peak of my opportunities in boxing, unfortunately, boxing's like, you're all news if you haven't been boxing, if you haven't been active. Unfortunately, when I got some good opportunities, my training wasn't the best it could have been. I had young children and I wasn't getting the correct sparring. I didn't really have the financial means to go travelling to get all the best sparring. But, you know, we've all got sob stories. Sometimes you've got to find a way. And at the time, I maybe made a choice to stay home, so I was home for my children, rather than getting on the road, making that sacrifice. Because realistically, the other advice I would say, children in boxing, unless you've got a partner that's, financially secure, because early in boxing you don't make money, so you need to either one of you needs to be earning money, or you need to have that ability to you go away to camp so you can 100% focus, because being in a household with children and all the rest of it, all the drama that comes with it, and when I say drama, it's just family life, it doesn't really mix well in boxing. You need that focus. So yeah, that's really important. Getting the right coach, getting the right team around you. If you've got a girlfriend, boyfriend, whether you're male or female, you need a good supportive partner. And yeah, you need all them things, but the discipline and the focus is essential. So create a brand, be vocal. I'm not saying be like Idris Virgo, but be vocal, because you've got to sell yourself. You've got to create your own opportunities, because in boxing, nothing is just handed to you. Let me just see what this... Just going to the comments. Idris, no defence. Yeah, guy, he didn't show much defence there. All he was doing was attacking. No head movement. No ability to slip and slide and catch punches. Yeah, it wasn't great. And I haven't really got many nice things to say about him, because the guy's a wanker. Miller is like that. His mouth can work for against him. Darren Till gets carried away with the Scouse hard man personality, but he can fight. You can back it up. Right. Main event. I'm nipping at the toilet again. Although I think the excitement, it's like I'm fighting. Any fighters watching, the minute you need to fight, you start needing the toilet. It's like the nerves. I'm almost getting that anticipation, because I'm excited for this one as well. That I'm keeping in the toilet. I'm just going to dive to the toilet. Be back in 2 minutes, guys. 2 minutes. And I'm back. Okay. This one, I've been looking forward to this one. It's going to be a good one. I'm really interested to see where Darren Till's at. Now he's in there with someone his own size. Let's see how he gets on. Let me just see. I'm just seeing Edwin saying there, Duran would shadowbox and jump rope for hours. That was the inspiration to Apollo Creed jumping rope. Well, yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, this is what you call working on your boxing fundamentals. You know, real specific. Skipping's so important for boxing. Being on your toes. It's like plyometrics. That stretch reflex in your legs. It's really important. And it also builds conditioning. There's nothing like shadowboxing, visualizing, you know, what punches you're going to throw, your defense, you know, practicing and drilling specific shots. It's all about visualization, shadowboxing. You know, it might be a tactic that you have for an opponent. You've got to drill it and drill it. Use the ring, because at the end of the day, you're fighting a square ring, so get used to that space. Guy saying Belanga versus Hamza. That'll be a great fight as well. Big step up for Hamza, that is. Because, you know, it's a new weight class. Michael Smith. Do I think Darren's got the skill to do well in Misfits? I think so, but I can only judge off what I've seen last time. Last time out, so you're only as good as your last fight, as I say. Brad's, hi Lawrence, did you make of the Dave Allen to win coming in heavier? Yeah, I mentioned it earlier on in the stream. I'm hoping that how he looks physically in his weight doesn't, you know, reflect on how he's trained. I hope he's fit. I hope he's put in the work, because he's been saying that he has. So yeah, I hope he has, because I'm kind of rooting for him. The fight's just starting. You can see already that Stewart wants to get straight on the front foot. Okay. He looks, straight away, it's only been seconds, and he looks very physically strong. He needs to remember this isn't MMA. He wants to get in close to grapple. Looks a little bit flat-footed, does Stewart. That sort of range is what... Not bad defense there from Darren Darren Till on the ropes there. Didn't really get hit with anything there, but he doesn't need to be on the ropes. He needs to move his feet. Get off the ropes. Why would you sit on the ropes? You've got all that space in the ring, and you sit on the ropes. Slide along the ropes, find the space, and start again. Oh! Stewart just switched off, went backwards in a straight line, had his hand like this, boom, left hook. I keep saying about that left hook from the southpaw stance. We've seen it tonight. We've seen it with Alexander Usyk. We've seen it against Tony Bellew as well, same shot. Southpaws love that shot. Let's see how Darren Stewart recovers. He's doing the right thing. He's got his guard nice and high. Maybe it was just a flash knockdown. You see, this is the thing. You can't just bulldoze forward in boxing. Skills pay the bills. Come on, Darren Till. He's shown the superior boxing. He's found his range now and his rhythm. And the fact that he's hurt him, Darren Stewart isn't just bulldozing forward. Yeah, he wants a little bit of time now. He doesn't want to make that mistake and just run onto that shot. And he needs to let his head clear, to be honest. Oh! Stuns him again. He's picking his shots nicely here, Darren Till. Yeah. Oh, left hook again. High in the temple. Scrambles your senses. And what I did like what I seen last time with Darren Till against Anthony Taylor, he was very calm. He didn't rush. Even when he had his guy hurt, he calmly just worked his way in behind a jab, touched his way in, found his range, and let his hands go. He didn't get carried away. And that is the experience, ring experience. You can't buy it. And he was known, Darren Till, for having good striking in his MMA. I think that's what he was known for. Oh, he just got caught with a straight backhand though off Stewart. Oh, tasty. This has been a tasty one already. Feel free to shoot the comments in again. I might miss them because I'm trying to go through some of them in between. But if I miss, you might need to rewrite the question because I might miss it. Michael Smith, Darren would smoke Tommy Fury. I think so. I think he could. I think he's too scared. And based off Tommy Fury's last performance, yeah. Hannah McGratty. I don't know if I pronounced it right. Forgive me if I haven't pronounced it right. I keep saying I'm not the best in pronouncing names. Hey, how are you? How are you showing the fight? How am I saying it? I'm saying Darren Till's just absolutely dropped him. That's a 10-8 round. So he's winning it so far. He's doing the right thing. He's boxing at range, nice and calm. Not rushing anything. Uncle Lenzo is ASC. When Stewart had hair, he was the spitting image of Tyrone Woodley. I get what you're saying. I totally see it. Oh, but he sees strong Stewart. This is where Darren Till. They're both called Darren, so I normally say the first names. He just needs to keep it long. He doesn't need to get involved. You can see that he's the superior boxer. He's got zero footwork, Stewart. Oh, lovely counter again off the ropes there, Till. You can just see that he's strong. The way Stewart, he just boom, big hooks. So if they land, they're going to do damage. That's why Till does not need to be on the... Oh, lovely body shot there from Till. Sneaky. He just looped that in underneath the elbows of Stewart. That's better. He went off with a jab, come off at an angle, boxed his way off the ropes. Really simple boxing. The jab is the most simple book in boxing, but the most effective. There, double, triple jab. Simple. If you've got it's like a bull in Matador, you don't want to let them get too close. Just keep them at the end of it and then go off at an angle. When they get close, you spin off. Oh, lovely shot off the ropes by Till again. In fairness, Stewart's taken these shots well. He's definitely got a chin, but that's MMA. If you've been getting kicks and punches, kicks and knees, should I say, and elbows, you're going to have a chin. I don't think you can be in MMA and not have a chin. Well, you certainly can't make it to a high level, put it that way. Cyborg boxing. Those card girls are tasty. I haven't actually seen, but I will have a look. And then, oh, beautiful shots by Till. And he's throwing hooks to the temple in range. Nothing wrong with that. It's kind of holding and punching, but if the referee doesn't stop you, keep doing it. It scrambles your senses. Why am I thinking about the ring girls now? Hopefully my other half isn't watching. Why am I thinking 1-2? 1-2 ring girls? I mean, that's not a combination, is it? Oh, beautiful there. That was a lovely 2 punches off the same hand from Till off the ropes. Beautiful. Do you know what it is? I'm impressed with Darren Till, and he's shown moments of real class. You can really see that he's got some good boxing ability, but naturally he hasn't got loads of boxing experience. So the more fights he has, the better he'll get. I'm liking what I'm seeing. TA Gaming, did Till win? It's not over yet. Greg Cowden, please score each round since I can't watch this. Was that 2 rounds down? Till won the first round at 10-8 because he dropped Stewart. In that round again, for me, was Darren Till again. So he's 2 rounds up. So Darren Till is winning comfortably, but he still needs to be careful with the hooks in the close quarters, because Stewart can definitely punch a little bit. Edwin, Till has a good boxing. He just has to stay relaxed. I agree. Philip Brown, Darren was very good with his precise striking in MMA. Yeah, I didn't follow MMA and UFC loads, but from what I've seen of them, which wasn't a lot, and you know, I know off what people say, because even True Geordie, who I spend a lot of time with, I used to watch UFC back in the day with True Geordie, and he actually got me into it. He knows his stuff, and he was saying that Darren Till had good striking. This is the type of fight you can't blink. Because, oh, lovely little left uppercut there off Stewart on the inside. I don't know if it landed clean. But I really wish that Darren Till would just keep it nice and long. And as soon as he feels his leg hit the ropes, slide off, come off at an angle. He doesn't need to be there. Use that. When he doubles and trebles a jab, it's great. And yeah, he's hold. When you get in close hold, spin him and get back to centre. There you go, you done it there. That's what you do. You hold, turn them, and get back to the centre. It's just slightly different to MMA. These are things you learn in boxing. Say in MMA, you would have just took them to the ground. You wouldn't be thinking about pivoting off necessarily. Well, I mean, you would. I suppose you would turn off the cage if you're a stand-up fighter. But it's still slightly different. Hannah McGritty, do I still think Till's going to win? Based off what I've seen so far, he's the superior boxer. But like I say, boxing, anything can happen, especially at the heavier weights. You're only one punch away for being fast asleep. And at times, Darren does lean back with a low guard, and his chin's a little bit up in the air. So that's why I wanted to keep it long, keep it at the end, like the end of the jab. That's where he needs to be. If he gets into that close quarters, get your shots off and then get off. Yeah, guys saying Till's patient and not getting carried away. He's not getting carried away, but if I was his coach, every time he's on the ropes, I'd be saying, you don't need to be there. Like, in the corner, I think there's no doubt in my mind. He trains out of the Rotunda gym. The good coaches, so they'll be telling him that. But again, the pressure that Stewart's given, it's tiring. So maybe Till's feeling it. His legs are probably heavy, so he's probably not as mobile as he would like to be. Yeah, someone's just saying, I don't know how to pronounce your name, but Stewart is ex-MMA too, right? Yeah. Adohan, I think that's how you pronounce it, maybe. Alfie, watch along for the Allen versus Fisher fight tomorrow night. Yes, sir. I'll be doing a stream as long as my internet's working again, because that issue tonight, I'll be doing it. So that was the main stream I'd planned on doing. This one tonight was a bit of a last minute thing, because my guy Joey Knights was boxing, so I decided to do a stream because I was watching anyway. If you haven't already, guys, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. How's everyone saying it? Are you as impressed with Darren Till? Anybody that watched Darren Stewart in the MMA, let me know what you think. How's he doing in boxing in comparison? From what I heard, I haven't watched a lot on Darren Stewart. I don't think he was ever the best striker. And I don't think he made it at the level of Darren Till, as far as I'm aware, in the UFC. But I could be wrong. I'm not an MMA guy. It makes me excited to see who. I know I'm thinking jumping ahead here, and I don't want to give it the Drake curse like I did earlier on. If Till gets through this, and if he boxes the way he is at the moment, he has a good chance. I'm really interested in seeing who he could fight next. The likes of KSI, Jake Paul. I would love to see him in with these guys. And I think Misfit boxing is on the up, so I think there's loads of fights out there for him. And I mean, What's Till fighting at up at cruiserweight? I mean, if I get in the Misfits, I'd fight these guys. I mean, I don't know how big Till is, because I'm a light heavyweight naturally. I'm probably sitting at 14.5 stone, but I'm watching I've sparred cruiserweights most of my boxing career. I'd fight these guys, no problem. Get me in there. Boxing opportunities in the professional ranks, I wasn't getting them. So, you know, if Misfits is what it's got to be, let's go. And I love what Misfits is doing. I really enjoy the entertainment side of things. Like, the press conferences, the wild, the crazy. But it's entertaining, it's fun. If anyone would like to donate to the channel, it really helps out. All the donations go straight back into the channel, and it makes me worth my time doing these live streams, because if people support the channel, I'll do more of them. So let me know if you're enjoying what I'm doing, because like I say, if you're enjoying them, I'll keep doing them. I'm still navigating my way here on YouTube, so, you know, with the type of content I'm doing, the angle which I'm going to take YouTube, so at the minute I'm kind of I'm doing the videos which I'll always be doing. I may even start doing some boxing tutorial videos, so let me know if you'd be interested in some boxing tutorial lessons. Let me know in the comment section. Darren Till looks a little bit tired here, but Stewart's took a lot of punishment in this fight. And by the way, whoever said, let me know the scoring, for me, it's 3 rounds up to Darren Till. And I think this round's been a little bit more competitive because Darren Till's looking tired. There's been a lot of aggression come forward from Stewart. You know, just that strength leaning on Darren Till and basically forcing Darren Till to keep punching, because that's the only way he can keep him off, because you can see that he's physically strong, so he's got to punch him off. Yeah, to be honest, you know, guys said I would describe. It was a guy who said it. Yeah, wait, I've just missed the comment. Where was it? Isaac King said, how do I think Till would do against Jake Paul? Right now, I think it'd be a really competitive fight. I think Jake Paul has the edge in power, but I think Darren Till's got better balance in the way he jabs, but Jake Paul's got like a really stiff jab. I think Darren Till's got a much better punch selection. I think it'd be a good fight. And I think, yeah, and maybe, I'm just not sure. I think if Jake Paul had fought this guy with his power, had he caught him, he would have knocked him out. But yeah, it'll be interesting, that fight. I'd maybe edge towards Darren Till, though he's progressing in this boxing scene. Greetings from New Zealand, Isaac King. Respect, mate. Thank you for joining me. Not a great round there, Michael Smith saying for Till. Yeah, he looked very tired. He looked a bit ragged. He didn't look as smooth as he has in the previous rounds. How did Joey do? Joey won. Not the best performance in the sense of his opponent. He didn't give a lot, so didn't create a lot of openings for Joey. So probably not the performance Joey would have won, but it was a good win against a former, I think like 5 times world champion kickboxer. There's Cyberboxing saying you would destroy these guys in Misfits, Lawrence. No doubt. If I couldn't beat these guys, what's my 20 years in boxing been about? You know what I mean? Boxed all over the world as an amateur. I've been there and done it with guys 10 times better than these in boxing. I mean, no discrediting Darren Till because he can't really box. And at the end of the day, in these small gloves, anything can happen. And, you know, I don't know what, I think he's a bigger weight than me. But, you know, I still think I could beat these guys easy. Taylor Denny, yes, Loza, supporting from Leeds. Respect, mate. Leeds, you might know my mate there, Jack Bateson, who I was on GB with. I know a few guys from Leeds, to be honest. And my guy, Kez Asfact, one of my best mates on GB, my brother, I don't speak to him as often as I would like. I need to catch up with him, to be honest. Another top amateur from GB back in the day. He's a professional now. Yeah, got a few friends in Leeds, actually. Leeds is a great place, to be honest. I love Leeds. I used to go there a lot with my other half on city breaks. Oh, nice combination there from Till. Michael Smith has got a 2-2. I think the cleaner work's been from Till regardless. But in this round, he's definitely starting to close the gap though, Stewart, here, just with the pure, presence and, volume of attack. He's just on him, and he's starting to touch Till more and more. But I still feel like Till's getting the cleaner work, maybe? This is what happens in boxing. Sometimes toughness, doesn't matter how good you are as a boxer. If you can't get the guy out of there and he's tough, he's fit, he's got a good chin, and he just keeps coming, it's an absolute nightmare. Yeah, that's why it's great when you're gifted of that get out of jail punch, that equalizer, and you can get them guys out of there. And I think Till can punch a little bit, but I don't think he's like a one-punch knockout guy. But he hits enough to gain your respect. As we've seen earlier on, he dropped Stewart, but it's not been enough to get him out of there. What was that round? Wait, there the ring girls just putting the. I missed the round. That's round 6. Is that just going in here? Yeah, it's round 6 next. Fraser Clark up on the mic. My guy had some good times with Fraser Clark. He's a real funny guy. A real product of hard work. He's one of the longest reigning GB guys. He was on there for like 12 years or something. And it all worked, like paid off because he got a Olympic bronze medal. Yeah, he's a real funny guy. I back him, support him. I was gutted when he got beat off Fabio Wardley, but it's heavyweight boxing. He learned from that. He made a schoolboy error. He got tangled up on the ropes, looked at the referee, and the referee didn't intervene, and Fabio Wardley done the right thing. He let his hands go, and Fraser Clark switched off. Yeah, I think Darren Till's lost a little bit of pop in his shots, whereas Stewart still seems to have the same amount of strength and power as he did early on. Credit to his strength and conditioning. Edwin would avoid Till right now. Who should avoid Till? Till has the UFC habits that Jake Paul hasn't got, but Jake Paul's picking ex-UFC fighters, yeah. Happy for Joey, he's a talented lad. Yeah, Joey's a good guy. Fun. I keep on, he's a real funny guy, Joey. Hilarious. I've had some great times with the Pain Game lads. He's hilarious. Go and follow his channel as well if you don't. Great insight in boxing as well. Great knowledge. And he's also got another channel as well with Josh. I can't remember what he's. I think it's called Joey and Josh. They're doing like documentaries on various news and stuff like that. I think he done the Madeleine McCann case a while back. Things like that. Great channel. Yeah, a few people have got it 3-2 to Till now. I'm not sure, to be honest. It's the last couple have been hard to score. There's a chance that you could maybe give it to Stewart on aggression in volume of punches. Till's punches aren't having the same effect, and he's not throwing as many. And his face, look, the damage, you can see his face is a bit bashed up. His nose is bleeding, so, Stewart's punches are definitely landing. It's a case of the volume now from Stewart. Till's still picking some nice punches at times, but there's not enough of them. He needs to step it up. But I know what it's like when you're tired in a boxing ring. Everyone's saying, let your hands go, get behind the jab. But when your legs are tired and they're full of lactic acid, it's really difficult. Yeah, boxing, it's not for the faint-hearted because, you know, not only are you physically getting tired, you're also getting concussed sometimes. You're taking punches to the head. So not only is because of fatigue, it's hard for your brain to think clearly. You're also getting punched to your brain. So your brain's getting rattled. And, you're trying to think about your tactics. It's really difficult. And I think sometimes the casual fans forget that. It's, in football you get tired, you can pass the ball, you know what I mean? You can have a timeout if you needs be, if you get an injury or whatever, you can get substituted. But in boxing, nope, it's you against the other man. Well, it's over there. It'd be interesting to see who's won. Someone's got a 4-1 Till. I think Till landed the cleaner shots that round, to be fair. Yeah, I think it's really difficult because I'm kind of trying to engage with the chat and also watch. But maybe I need to get this job better and either need to focus on the fight or focus on the chat. I'm trying to do both. But yeah, I think... sorry, is this an 8-round fight? I thought it was done there. I think this is an 8-round fight, actually. Yeah, of course, it'll be the main event. It'll be an 8-round fight. Yeah, I think it's... Lost my train of thought there. Okay, let's see what we're saying. Till walks around. Edwin's saying Till walks around at 210. Fought at 185 in MMA. Yeah, well, I fought at 179. 179 in the pro game, so it's not that much heavier. Till needs to work the body. Yeah, he does, but he's not... It's difficult because, when you let the body shots go, when someone's piling the pressure, you're susceptible to head shots, and I think Till's, he's not in flow state anymore. He's kind of fighting on instinct a little bit because he's clearly tired. His legs are like in sinking sand, sitting on the ropes. Yeah, it's really difficult to score Stewart's shots because he's pumping his arms out, but there's not a lot of precision in what he's doing. Whereas Darren Till is picking his shots really well. He's fighting in spurts. Excuse me. He's fighting in spurts. He's kind of having a look, blocking his shots, sitting on the ropes and then letting little fast combinations go. I do like the cleaner work from Till. And this is the thing, he's been fighting in MMA for years. He's been conditioned to the rounds in the UFC, where now he's transitioning to boxing. And I say it time and time again, training in the gym for the rounds is different to fight night. It's totally different. So, 8 rounds doing, you can be training like a demon, but it's almost like it's not just the rounds in the gym, it's the rounds on fight night. Getting your body conditioned on fight night is different under those conditions. So that's why each fight he's conditioning on fight night will get better. That's why in football they call it match fit. You can see here Stewart, there's zero thought in what he's doing. He's just letting his hands go. Yeah, that's why footballers who play regular are match fit. It's not about the training, it's about what you're doing on the pitch. Of course it's about the training as well, but it's predominantly you get that match fitness from actually playing. So Darren Till, providing he comes through this, he'll gain loads physically from this. Just even mentally, the confidence that you can actually do the rounds. Yeah, he looks really tired here on the ropes here, Till. He's almost sitting on that second rope, almost taking a seat. It's those fights where you just want to say, will you just leave us alone? Give me some space. It's a mad old game. This is fighting sports, all sorts of questions are going on in your mind because, when you're getting, you got that pressure, you're getting swarmed by bees. Bees the size of, who are 185 pounds or whatever weight these are. It's extremely difficult. They've just embraced there. And there's another round to go. I think the thought was over. The thought that was done. They both embraced, but there's one more round to go. They've totally lost track of what round it was. Now that is a gutter, because when you're really tired and all of a sudden you thought, oh, there's light at the end of the tunnel, and then you get to the end of the tunnel and there's more miles to go. What's this? Okay, Michael Smith doesn't have Till winning. He has it 5-2 to Stewart. Till was winning any rounds after the second. Okay. Darren's always been more precise than volume, so maybe his cardio is getting pushed. Philip Brown, yeah, certainly looks like it, because I don't think he's enjoying himself right now, put it that way. His face tells a story of this has been hard work. Now it's the last round. Round 8. I should be writing this down because it's really hard after each round, because it's really hard to score when you're actually watching it, enjoying it, and I'm also obviously trying to commentate at the same time. Put it this way, it's been entertaining, it's been a great final fight. This is what you want from fights. Guys that give it their all. Especially in this Misfits space. It's about entertainment. Guy has it 5-2 to Till. This is going to be one of them fights where it's going to be whoever gets it. You can't massively argue. Up till now, I still feel as if the cleaner work from Till is giving him the fight. But it's a difficult one. See what he's doing now. He's just creating a bit of space. Why wasn't he doing this the last couple of rounds? I'll tell you why. Because when you can see light at the end of the tunnel, you get that little extra boost. And I think that's what happened for Stewart in the last round. Whereas I think Darren Till realised there was another round to go. I think it was just Stewart that thought it was over. Oh, lovely counter. See there? Now Till's created a bit of space. Using his feet, he's able to pick Stewart off. This is what you need to do. Which is all good and well when you're in the moment. But that's what you need to do. And this is the difference from a really good corner that can psychologically get into your head in the corner and make you follow instructions. Because I've had coaches in the past, they've been great in terms of the information they're giving us, but they can't get into my head in that moment and really find the motivation to give me the right instruction and encouragement. Sometimes you've got to be, a psychologist as a boxing coach, because you've got to know how to approach the fighter, how to talk to them, how to say the right things to get them going. So yeah, as a boxing coach, it's not just about teaching in terms of boxing. It's about being a good friend, building a relationship, a bond, and it's about being a psychologist. You've got to understand your fighter. You've got to understand what makes them tick. Yeah, when Till lets them shots go, when Stewart gives him a little bit of space, but he gains that space by just throwing his shots, not allowing Stewart to just walk into range. But yeah, I think what Till was doing in the previous rounds, he was letting Stewart walk into range and then trying to, catch the shots and come back. But by then it was too late. He was getting smothered. Come on. Oh, big shot there from Till. He just switched off. You can't afford to switch off in this game. And definitely not in this weight category. Oh! Oh! This happens in boxing. That was the referee's fault. The referee, when his head went through the ropes and he couldn't see, should have stepped in, but he didn't. And Till done the right thing and threw a backhand, and boom, he went down. Oh, that was bad. But I mean, see, I hate to say it sometimes, but that referee, he's no spring chicken. His brain's probably not as sharp. It's almost like, if you've got a driving license, after a certain age, you should either A, get your license taken off you, or have to resit your test to make sure that you've got the ability and the speed to react. And the referee, unfortunately for me there, and maybe I'm just jumping to conclusion because he's he's an older man, but he didn't jump in quick enough. He turned, his head was literally through the ropes. He should have jumped in, and he didn't. So that's not Darren Till's fault. That's the referee's fault. He didn't see the shot coming, Stewart, and boom, he hit the deck. I think that for me, that knockdown is just one Darren Till the fight. It's made it a 10-8 round. I think that's just sealed the deal. That's 2 knockdowns in the fight. So, yeah, 2 10-8 rounds for me. I think he done the cleaner work throughout the fight. Despite the odd, look at that. That referee just watched. He just stood there, watched his head through the ropes like an idiot, just staring and didn't intervene. Jesus Christ. Look, I mean, you as a referee, you've got 2 fighters' lives at risk. You've got to be quick. It's almost like you should have a reflex-based test. You know what I mean? See how quick your reactions are. Fighters do it to make sure how quick and reactive they are. Referees should do the same. They should be tested regular. Jesus. I quite like KSI in the old Peaky Blinders outfit. All of the guys, to be honest, I just seen KSI there. I do like that Peaky Blinders vibe. Yeah, guys saying what's the referee doing? That was bad, that was disgusting. I say it's disgusting. He shouldn't be employed because he was reacting as quick as he could, probably, being a man of that age. And that's not no disrespect, it's just the facts. He clearly wasn't quick enough to react. It's that simple. Why is that all the way over there? Yeah, Jesus Christ, man. We can't afford to have old... I don't like saying old men, but it's a dangerous sport. It's not football. Even footballers, if you're a referee, right, you need to be fit enough to run up and down the pitch. Same if you're a linesman. Can you run up and down the pitch? So I don't think they'll employ 70-year-old men who can't run up and down the pitch. It's no disrespect to them. It's just physically, they're not capable. So in boxing, when you're dealing with a sport that's so dangerous, they've got to be fit enough, sharp enough of mind, reflexes, ability to react. To me, it's no good. I'm like, yeah. Tell me in the comment section, do you disagree? Uncle Lenzo, Big Freeze just got PTSD. He probably did, yeah, after watching that. He's like, shit, that happened to me. Oh no, it's happening again. Yeah, I'm picking how can the pundits and us as viewers have it so different? How can the pundits and the viewers have it so different? Because boxing's subjective. It depends on what you like. I'm giving it to Till. The guy the Adelaide ref, yeah, Howard Foster. Would you full Till Troy O'Toole? Absolutely. I mean, there's nothing I've seen there that I haven't seen and dealt with before. Yeah, they've given it to Till. Cyberborg Boxing, what part of the UK are you from? Newcastle, mate. And thanks again for your donations. Anyone that wants to donate to the channel, it's massively appreciated. It makes it worth my while. If people like what I'm doing here on YouTube, especially the streams, I'll continue to do them. All the money gets pumped back into the channel. Michael Swift 7773, lol, come on. Boxing's subjective, it's so difficult. Till won. Stewart was just throwing punches at his guard all night. Till was landing clean. I do agree with that. It was just volume. And I think a lot of the damage was even Till blocking the shots. You kind of cuff yourself at times. It'd be interesting to see what Till's saying.
Obviously, well, Misfits.
Yeah. Let me know in the comments what Till's saying, because I've got it unmuted because I can't have the sound on for copyright. Joseph, sorry, big up the Loza. What's next? When's the next pain game? I'm not too sure. I'll keep you. I was going to say I'll keep you posted. I can't let that news go. True Geordie is the one to drop the news with the pain game. It's his channel. But hopefully soon, because I love getting together with all the boys and doing the streams. That's great. Michael Smith, Till's face says otherwise. Yeah, well, like I say, sometimes just even cuffing shots. And as well, some people's face damage more than others. My skin's not the best. I bruise and swell up easy. It doesn't, how your face look doesn't always paint the picture. There's loads of guys I've seen take like so many shots and punishment and the face doesn't change. Some people have got skin like a rhino. It doesn't change. So yeah, you can't always judge punish like the way people's face bruise up and swell up, whether they've won the fight or not. I do get what you're saying though, but some people's skin's just better than others. Who do you think wins, Till or Tommy Fury? Tommy Fury in them early rounds. Darren Till in them early rounds. I would definitely say Till. Okay, there's a little bit of back and forth there. KSI in Darren Till. Come on, Darren. I hope this fight happens with Till. I think KSI, we need him back. We need him back. We need the big names, the likes of KSI, Jake Paul, all these big names. They've got a fan base and they make Misfits what it is. And Darren Till is a great addition to Misfits boxing. He can fight. He's got a personality. He can talk a bit. He's got his fan base from the UFC. He's great for Misfits. And for me, Misfits go from strength to strength. This card was a really entertaining card. We had guys at the lower level, who've, we had the likes of, what's he called, Wakey Wines. He can't fight, but, it's entertaining. For the casual fan, it's funny. We had Chase DeMoore. Got put down, I think, early on in the fight, second or third round. He recovered. Caught his guy, got the job done. He can talk a bit. He's entertaining. You need these different characters in boxing, and I just love the blend of the influencers in the professional boxing. You're covering all grounds. I just think the whole promotion, they do it really well. Misfits boxing. Philip Brown, good experience for Till, definitely, because that would have, he answered a lot of questions there. He was in with a guy not like Anthony Taylor, who was a smaller man, who he was physically bigger than and physically stronger. Till tonight, excuse me, 1 second. Till tonight was in with a guy who was physically stronger, but Till had the superior boxing skills, so he had to answer some questions there. Guy, nice evening, Loza. We'll try to jump in tomorrow night. See you later. Thank you very much, mate. Really appreciate you joining me. I think you've been in for most of the stream, so respect, mate. I hope you've enjoyed it. And everyone watching, before you check out, make sure to like and subscribe. And I will be doing a stream tomorrow night. We've got Johnny Fisher versus Dave Allen. Going to be a great night of boxing. I've really been looking forward to this one, so make sure to tune in. So yeah, make sure to smash the like button, please, and subscribe if you haven't already. Eddie06, I think if Darren shows up like he did early, he can kill Tommy. Yeah, agree. But I think Tommy would win on points should the fight continue. Yeah, I think it's interesting. I mean, Tommy Fury right now, he looks like a bodybuilder. So he wasn't the Tommy Fury that fought KSI. So if right now, and especially that performance I seen off Tommy Fury last week, he looked terrible. So right now, I would say Till can beat him. If Tommy can get rid of some of that muscle mass and get himself properly fit, it'd be a close fight. But yeah, that'll be interesting. Organ Katy TV won. Who won? Darren Till won. That was crazy. I look like Keith Thurman, kinda. I don't think so. Are you sure you're looking straight at the camera? Straight at the screen? Yeah, I don't think I look like Keith Thurman. Come on. I'm slightly better than that. Come on. um, Tommy Fury should honestly go in there with Till. It's competitive. Yeah. I think of course he's good enough. He's good enough to fight Darren Till. You know, Darren Till right now isn't a world beater. He's a great boxer. You can see that he's got some skill, but he's not elite yet. So, you know, Tommy Fury, the so-called proper boxer, he should get straight in there with him. It makes sense. If he's scared to fight him, he might as well retire. I think Tommy Fury should go back down in weight, definitely, because I say this all the time, but when you put on a certain amount of weight, whether that's fat or muscle, obviously fat generally isn't great, but at the heavyweight division, sometimes a little bit of body fat is okay. You don't need to be like super lean, but at the lighter weights, carrying too much fat obviously isn't good. In too much muscle mass, it's diminishing returns, because strength is, you know, end the day in boxing, you want to be physically strong, but you also want power on your punches. So there's a point where that physical strength, it's good for the inside clinches, but it's going to cause you to fatigue quicker, because extra muscles need more oxygen, so it creates more lactic acid, and it also slows you down. So it's not beneficial. And you know, power is speed plus strength. So too much strength is going to slow the speed down. So yeah, he needs to drop down to his natural weight. Cyborg Fabio has won me some good bets, but Honey is good to bamboozle him with his speed and movement. Honey can box and come forward and dog it out. Yeah, a few people have said this actually. I think it's a bit of a what's the word I'm looking for? It's a bit of a lose-lose, because he's not a big name where, especially in the UK, where everybody knows him. But the guy can really fight, so if he wins, nobody knows him. If he loses, he's lost against a guy that nobody knows. So it's almost like, it doesn't make sense, really. I don't actually get that matchup. When he was going to fight Big Baby Miller is a big name. You know, he's a personality. You know, it would have been a good fight. I'm not sure if he would have definitely won, but it made sense to me. It was a big step up, and but this fight, the fighter unknown, who's a good fighter, it's like high risk, low reward. I don't get it. Darren Stewart showing Joe Joyce how to move your head. Joe Joyce was my old roommate. I love Joe Joyce. Don't put Darren Stewart and Joe Joyce in that category. That's disrespect. That's serious disrespect. I sprayed it there. Jack McConnell. Just watch that absolute robbery. Till won round 1 and maybe round 8. That was no robbery. Come on. When it's close. I mean, this is an interesting conversation, actually, because people say if it's close, it doesn't matter who it goes to. You know, how can you say it's a robbery if it's close? Well, I'll tell you why. You can win 8 rounds out of 8 if it's an 8-round fight. It could be close rounds, but you could still win each round with the cleaner punches. They can still be close. So, yeah, that's a funny saying that people say. So, realistically, when someone says it's close, I think you need to be a little bit more detailed in why you think it's close. Because if it's close because, you know, one wins a round, you think the next guy wins the round, it's like 1 for 1. But someone can still be winning every round, but still be competitive in each round. So you've got to be more clear in what you're saying. Totally agree. Tommy is a built bodybuilder. He needs to build to throw punches. He needs to strip the bulk. Absolutely. Eddie06, I was also absolutely shocked to bits when Ty stopped Idris like that. I wasn't surprised, to be honest, because Idris isn't, he's not very big. He's only really, he's like a middleweight, like a super middleweight at best. When I look at him physically, especially in comparison to Ty Mitchell, Ty's massive. So you know, there's weight classes for a reason, and I'm not too sure when he was a professional what weight he was fighting at, but it didn't shock me. I like the way Ty's very loose and relaxed. So yeah, I wasn't surprised at all, especially when the fight started, because Idris was coming forward in straight lines. You know, you can't come forward in straight lines when you've got the shorter reach, you're the shorter man. You know, it didn't make sense. You've got to have head movement, you've got to create angles, you've got to draw your opponent's lead and then try to counter and work your way in. He was just rushing in a straight line, so it didn't surprise me at all, to be honest. Not when I was watching it. I was like, within 30 seconds I thought, okay, you've got zero game plan. You think you can just walk forward. And after about a minute or two, the writing was on the wall, to be honest. Till won, no doubt. Cyborg boxing, 100%. I think he did. Especially with the 2 knockdowns, I think it sealed the deal. Philip Brown, I'm glad Darren's getting a revival of his career in combat sport. He was pushed too fast in the UFC, but here he's getting a good experience before big fights. Yeah, I think that's a really good point. I think, yeah, surprisingly, Misfits Boxing, who's technically not as experienced in the fight business, is managing Darren Till better than what the UFC was. Excuse me. Well, okay, I think we'll wrap it up there. Just answer the last. I've seen Honey and Jib Opataya spar in the gym, and I train in Melbourne. Okay, but that's interesting. Jib Opataya, I think, great fighter. I hope he gets better opportunities. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up there, guys and girls. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining me. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for the guys that have donated. Massively appreciated. I'm going to be doing a live stream tomorrow night for Johnny Fisher versus Dave Allen. So make sure to tune in. Thanks again.